Cruising has changed more than most travelers realize, not in big, frightening ways, but in small rules and hidden systems that can quietly affect your comfort, your money, and even your first day at sea. For travelers over 60, this matters even more. Many seniors board a ship expecting things to work the same way they did 5 or 10 years ago. The cabin feels familiar, the balcony feels private, the safe looks secure, the old habits feel harmless. But on modern cruise ships, some of those habits can now lead to surprise charges, security visits, boarding delays, or serious safety problems. These are not mistakes cruise lines always explain clearly before you board. And they usually catch experienced cruisers first because they assume they already know the rules. So, before your next sailing, here are 10 cruise cabin mistakes seniors should avoid in 2026. Number 10 is the minibar trap. The first mistake starts inside your own cabin, and it looks completely harmless. That small minibar in your room is not part of your drink package. Even if you paid for unlimited drinks, that usually applies to bars, lounges, restaurants, and certain service areas around the ship. It does not mean every bottle and snack inside your cabin fridge is free, and cruise lines do not always make that clear. After a long travel day, it is easy to open the fridge, grab a cold water, or take a small snack without thinking twice. One bottle does not feel like a big deal. One soda does not feel like a mistake. But by the end of a 7-night cruise, those little choices can quietly turn into a painful surprise on your final bill. For seniors traveling on a fixed budget, this can be especially frustrating. You thought you were being careful all week, then suddenly you are paying extra for drinks you assumed were already included. The best way to avoid it is simple. On embarkation day, ask your cabin steward to empty the minibar completely. Then use your cabin fridge for drinks you brought from the buffet, from an approved beverage station, or from port. That one small request can save you from one of the easiest charges to miss. And before we continue, make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell, because these are exactly the kinds of cruise mistakes most passengers only learn after they have already paid for them. If you cruise often, or if you are planning your first cruise in years, you do not want to miss the next warnings. Some of them can cost much more than a few drinks from the minibar. Number 9 is using adhesive decorations inside the cabin. This next mistake surprises people because decorating a cruise cabin feels innocent. Maybe you want to put a name tag on the door. Maybe you brought a birthday banner, a family reunion sign, or a few hooks to keep bags off the floor. In a hotel room, that might not seem like a problem, but cruise ship cabins are different. The walls and doors are often finished with special coatings made for salt air, humidity, and constant cleaning. Sticky tape, adhesive hooks, and peel-off decorations can leave marks behind or pull at that surface when they come off. And when that happens, the cruise line may treat it as cabin damage. Many passengers do not notice the problem themselves. They leave the ship thinking everything is fine, then later see a restoration charge on the final bill or credit card statement. That is why this catches experienced cruisers. They decorated cabins before, and nothing happened. But newer ships and stricter cabin checks have made this much riskier. The safe rule is simple. Use magnets only and ask your cabin steward before putting anything on a wall, door, mirror, or painted surface. Most cabin doors and many cabin walls are metal underneath, so magnets are usually the safest choice. A decoration should make your cruise feel fun, not turn into an expensive charge after you get home. Number 8 is smoking or vaping on your balcony. This mistake can turn serious very quickly because many passengers still believe their balcony is private. It feels private. You are outside your cabin. You are not in a hallway, not in a restaurant, and not near other guests. So for someone who smokes occasionally or uses a vape to relax, the balcony can seem like the safest place to do it. But on a modern cruise ship, it is not. Balconies are monitored much more closely than most people realize. Ships now use sensitive smoke and heat detection systems, and in some cases, even vapor can trigger a warning. A crew member does not always need to see you with a cigarette or vape in your hand. The system can flag the cabin first, and once that happens, it is no longer a small cabin issue. Security may come to your door. You may receive a fine. In serious cases, passengers can be removed at the next port with no refund. That is a terrible way to lose a vacation, especially over one cigarette. The safest rule is simple. Never smoke or vape on your balcony. Use only the designated smoking areas on the ship. They are listed on the deck map, and guest services can show you exactly where they are when you board. Your balcony is for fresh air, views, and quiet mornings at sea. It is not worth risking your cruise over one moment that feels harmless. Number 7 is leaving the Do Not Disturb sign up too long. This mistake sounds like it should be about privacy, but on a cruise ship, it is really about safety. In a hotel, a Do Not Disturb sign usually means one thing: please leave me alone. On a ship, it means that too, but only for a limited time. If that sign stays on your cabin door too long, the crew may be required to check on you, not because they are trying to bother you, not because they think you did something wrong. They have to make sure the passenger inside is safe. This catches many older travelers by surprise. Maybe you like to sleep late. Maybe you take naps during the day. Maybe you simply enjoy quiet time in your cabin and do not want anyone coming in. That is completely understandable. But after a long period with no contact, the ship may treat the cabin as a welfare concern. Security can knock, call, and if there is still no answer, they may enter the cabin. To avoid that uncomfortable moment, do not leave the sign up all day and all night. Take it down when you go to dinner, when you leave for a show, or even for a short walk around the ship. If you need extended privacy for a real reason, call guest services and let them know you are fine. On land, privacy comes first. At sea, safety always comes first. Number 6 is not declaring medications at embarkation. This is one of the most important mistakes for senior travelers because it can affect your very first day on the ship. Many passengers assume that prescription medication is simple. If it is in the original bottle and your name is on the label, you are fine. But cruise lines can treat certain medications differently, especially controlled substances such as strong pain relievers, sleep aids, and some anxiety medications. These may need to be declared before you board, depending on the cruise line, the port, and the destination. And this is where people get caught. A senior traveler may have everything legally prescribed, packed neatly in a carry-on bag, and still be delayed during security screening because the medication was never declared. That delay can be stressful. It can mean extra questions, a visit to the medical desk, or waiting while the ship decides whether the medication can stay with you during the sailing. The mistake is not bringing the medication. The mistake is assuming nobody needs to know about it. Before your cruise, check your cruise line medication rules. Keep every prescription in its original container. Bring a printed medication list. If you use anything that could be considered controlled, call the cruise line before sailing and ask whether it must be declared. This is especially important if you take sleep medication, strong pain medication, or anxiety medication. A few minutes of preparation before boarding can save you from a long, embarrassing delay at the pier. And when embarkation day is already tiring, that is the last problem any senior traveler needs. And if this video is helping you so far, please take a second to like it. It is really appreciated because it helps more cruise travelers see these warnings before they make the same mistakes. And the next few mistakes are some of the ones experienced cruisers still get wrong. Number 5 is trusting the cabin safe completely. This mistake is easy to understand because every cabin safe looks official. You close the door, enter a code, hear the lock click, and assume your valuables are protected for the entire trip. And for basic convenience, the cabin safe is useful. But it is not a bank vault. Cabin safes are there to reduce everyday risk, not to protect every important thing you brought on board. Some use simple 4-digit or 6-digit codes. Some can be opened by authorized crew if there is a lockout. And the biggest danger is that many passengers put everything valuable in one place. Passport, cash, jewelry, credit cards, medication, and backup documents all go into the same small box. If something goes wrong, everything goes wrong at once. The smarter approach is to split your valuables. Use the safe for your passport and one card, but keep emergency cash in a separate hidden place inside your luggage. Do not use birthdays, anniversaries, or cabin numbers as your safe code. Choose a random number that has no personal meaning. If you are carrying expensive jewelry or a large amount of cash, ask guest services whether the ship has a main safe option. The cabin safe is helpful, but it should never be your entire security plan. Number 4 is failing to register mobility devices in advance. This mistake can create a problem before the cruise has even started. If you travel with a mobility scooter, a powered wheelchair, or a larger assistive device, you cannot always treat it like normal luggage. Cruise lines often need that information before embarkation day because your cabin has to be checked for space, access, and safe storage. Many seniors do not realize this until they arrive at the pier. The scooter may be allowed on the ship, but that does not mean it will fit through your cabin door. It also may not turn properly inside the room, fit into the bathroom area, or have a safe place to charge overnight. And if the ship discovers the problem on boarding day, your options may be limited. You might need to move to an accessible cabin, pay an upgrade difference, or accept a room in a location you would not have chosen. That is stressful, expensive, and completely avoidable. The best protection is to contact the cruise line accessibility desk before you sail. Do this at least 30 days in advance if possible. Register every mobility device, even if you think it is small. Ask for written confirmation of the cabin door width, bathroom access, turning space, elevator distance, and overnight storage rules. Do not rely on a phone conversation only. Get the details in writing so there is no confusion when you arrive. A mobility device should make your cruise easier, not become the reason your first day turns into a fight at guest services. Number 3 is paying too much for shore excursions. This mistake catches even experienced cruisers because the safer option is not always the smartest option. Cruise line shore excursions can be convenient. They are easy to book. They appear in your cruise account, and the ship usually promises that you will not be left behind if the official tour runs late. For some ports, that protection is worth paying for. If the excursion travels far from the ship, crosses into a remote area, or depends on long bus rides, booking through the cruise line can give you real peace of mind. But here is the part many passengers do not realize. In popular ports, the cruise line may be selling the same local tour you could book independently for much less. Same boat, same guide, same beach, same snorkeling stop. The only big difference is the price. And for seniors who want to feel safe, that fear of missing the ship can be powerful. Cruise lines know this. They often make the official excursion feel like the only responsible choice. That does not mean you should always avoid cruise excursions. It means you should choose carefully. Before you sail, research every port. Look at how far the activity is from the ship. Check whether the operator has strong reviews. Ask whether the same tour is available directly at the pier. For close, simple activities near the cruise terminal, independent tours can often save a lot of money. For distant or time-sensitive trips, the ship excursion may still be the better choice. The goal is not to be cheap. The goal is to know what you are really paying for. Number 2 is opening both cabin doors at the same time. This mistake sounds small, but it can turn your cabin into chaos in just a few seconds. Cruise ship cabins are designed with air pressure in mind. The hallway door and the balcony door are not meant to be open at the same time. When they are, air can rush through the cabin with surprising force. That sudden pressure change can slam doors, scatter papers, knock over glasses, and send loose items flying across the room. For older travelers, this can be more than annoying. A fast-moving door can hurt your hand, catch your fingers, or startle you badly enough to cause a fall. It often happens on embarkation day. The cabin feels warm. Someone opens the balcony door for fresh air. Then the hallway door opens for luggage, room service, or a family member coming in. In one moment, the peaceful cabin becomes a wind tunnel. The fix is very simple. Keep one door open at a time. Close the hallway door completely before opening the balcony door. Before you enjoy the balcony, put passports, boarding papers, glasses, phones, and medication in a drawer or on a secure surface. This is especially important if you are traveling with grandchildren or family members who may not know the rule. A balcony cabin should feel relaxing. But on a ship, fresh air needs one simple rule. One door open, never two. Number 1 is sitting or leaning over the balcony railing. This is the mistake cruise crews take more seriously than almost any other cabin behavior. A balcony railing may look strong, and it may feel stable when you rest a hand on it. but it is not designed to be used as a seat, a photo prop, or something to lean over for a better view. It is a safety barrier. That is all. On land, leaning against a railing might not feel dangerous. At sea, everything changes. The ship can move without warning. A sudden gust of wind can hit the balcony. A wave can shift the vessel just enough to throw off your balance. And when people are relaxed on vacation, they often take risks they would never take at home. Maybe you sit on the edge for a sunset photo. Maybe you lean forward to look down at the water. Maybe you reach out with your phone to get a better angle. It feels harmless because nothing has happened yet. But this is exactly why cruise security reacts so fast. If a crew member sees you sitting on, climbing on, or leaning over the balcony railing, you may receive a formal warning. In serious cases, your balcony access can be restricted, and the incident may be documented by ship security. The safest rule is simple. Keep both feet on the balcony floor at all times. Sit only in the balcony furniture provided. Keep chairs away from the railing. Never lean out for a photo. Never climb for a better view. And never assume calm seas mean there is no risk. Your balcony should be one of the best parts of your cruise. Do not let one careless moment turn it into the most dangerous one. Most cruise mistakes do not happen because passengers are careless. They happen because the rules changed quietly while old habits stayed the same. A minibar bottle, a privacy sign, a balcony door, or one quick photo near the railing can seem harmless in the moment. But on a modern cruise ship, small cabin mistakes can lead to charges, delays, security visits, or serious safety risks. So before your next sailing, ask questions early. Speak with your cabin steward. Check with guest services. Confirm anything that feels unclear. The smoothest cruisers are the ones who ask before a small mistake becomes an expensive problem. And if this helped you avoid even one costly cruise mistake, make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell because the next tip could save your entire vacation. Now keep watching because the next video will help you avoid even more cruise mistakes before they happen.